Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network. High school game day here at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, and presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Shelter Insurance agents Grant Baker and Sean Holman. Also brought to you by Labor's Local 663, the Bank of Billings, Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, Doak Propane, and Great Southern Bank. For another one of our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Male Athlete of the Week segments, here we go about 112 miles north of the studio to Lafayette County High School and head coach Jim Stoner. Coach Stoner, thanks so much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Bet 16-0 on the season, just coming out of winning the Penny tournament. Talk about the season up to this point for the Huskers.
Yeah, it's been a fabulous year. Had a senior here, Mason, and another fellow senior, Kaiser Gan Vega, that they've been playing since they were freshmen. Two other starters that are juniors that they got time as freshmen. So we took our lumps, but last year was a really good year for us, and we kind of had this year circled as coaches. We kind of had this year circled that hey, we can probably be pretty good come that season when Rumsey and Gan Vega are seniors, and so far it's panned out.
And just a little bit on your background for the viewers. How long have you been at Lafayette County? Where did you go to school, and how did you arrive there?
Well, I am a hometown boy. Hope people don't hold that against me, but yeah, I actually graduated here from Lafayette County. Um, Went to UCM and then went to grad school at Northwest. Uh, Came back. I've been this is my 28th year as a teacher and coaching basketball different levels. It's my 22nd year overall as the varsity coach, but I worked my way up. I got to coach freshman girls my first year back. Then I moved over to freshman boys for 3 years, and then JV boys for 2 years. And I got the head job in my 7th year. So I'm starting my 22nd year as the varsity coach.
Outstanding. And what right now? I mean, at 16-0, you guys have got to be doing things well. But what are some things right now as a team you're doing really well?
Well, we play fast. We try to play to the strengths of our kids. Mason here is played a lot of basketball. He's played at a high level. He's played a lot of summer basketball. Played AAU, and he and Kaiser are extremely fast, and so we try to get up and down the floor. So we play to that strength. We got some quick hands, so we stress getting points off of our defense. Defense has always been a philosophy of mine. We used to be strictly zone, but we mix it a lot more now with our team speed. And but no matter what you do, you got to have players that fit into that what you want to do. And I'm blessed to have some outstanding players right now.
Coach, give us an idea of your conference that you play in, if you play in a conference, and what what are the members of that conference, and kind of handicap that a little bit, and where you think your expectations are to finish.
Yeah, we play in the MRVC East. It's a 16 conference. Us, Lafayette County, Richmond, Lexington, Knob-Noster, Carrollton, and Holden. Richmond has kind of been our rival ever since I took over as the head coach. And tonight is a rivalry game. They've won conference the last 3 or 4, maybe 4 years. We had a pretty good run when we first split off into the MRVC East. I think we won 7 out of 8 to begin the conference, and then Richmond's kind of taken it over from us. But we were 22-4 last year, and 3 of our losses were to Richmond. So if you could get my drift, it's a big game tonight. We got hopefully some revenge on the mind. That it's a big ball game, and we'll have big implications as to conference where we're headed in conference.
You're sitting in that Class 3 District 14, and I'm looking at that. There's 7 teams in there, but 5 of them have double-digit wins.
Yeah,
Very competitive.
It's when that district came out, I talked with some other coaches and some buddies, and it was said to me that that could be the deepest district in the state in Class 3. And when I scrolled through them and looked at all of them, I've inclined to agree with that. It's a pretty deep district, no doubt about it. But you play one game at a time, and that's the only way you can take postseason. So we got other things we want to accomplish before then, but we are excited about the postseason.
Yeah. And where is your district being held?
It will be here in Higginsville, and
Right.
so we're excited. We hope that helps somewhat, but there are some terrific teams in our district. It really truly is probably the deepest district in Class 3, top to bottom.
Well, the gentleman sitting on your right became the all-time career leading scorer at Lafayette County. He currently sits at 1,985 points. Mason Rumsey, tell us a little bit about this young man.
Yeah, Mason's been awesome. I've being that I'm an elementary PE teacher, it's really fun for me to watch some of these kids that are in our school system, the whole time, and watch them grow. And Mason's one of those kids, and I remember him in the 5th grade elementary PE basketball unit. He obviously, you can tell sometimes at elementary, they're 4th, 5th grade, that some of these kids are going to be pretty good, and Mason was certainly one of those. And watching him, our first 7th grade team, for school ball, he had an outstanding season. And 8th grade, by 8th grade, we're thinking, oh, he might just have a chance to be one of those rare varsity starters, at a Class 3 school. And we've had some, but it's not very many through the years. And we as coaches talked about it, and now we do so much in the summer. He was able to prove himself during the summer. Came to everything. He's very committed, works hard when he's there. And he proved that the summer before his freshman year, he belonged as a varsity starter, and he's made his own way without a doubt.
Well, Mason, first off, on behalf of Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, congratulations on the Athlete of the Week. And I'm certainly happy that you were able to join us here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's go back to the game where you set the all-time scoring record. Number one, were you aware that you were approaching that number?
I was aware I was close. I didn't know exactly how many I needed, but before the game, I kind of looked into the stands and saw my family sitting over saw their poster board. So I kind of figured I was pretty close. So,
yeah. How close were you? Did you find out later?
I was 24 away from tying it, and I ended up with 25 that game. So ended up beating it by 1 point that game.
All right, take us back to that shot. What was the 25th point? Was it a 2-pointer, a 3-pointer?
It wasn't nothing too special, just a little putback. Got the offensive board and just stuck it back in. So, but yeah, I just remember hearing my parents cheering real loud, holding up their signs, and it's a pretty awesome feeling. I don't know if he remembers this, but I still remember my first varsity game as a freshman. I ended up scoring 0 points as a starter. Ended up having a couple of pretty bad turnovers. It was a pretty close game too. And I just remember the next day at practice, Coach Turner kind of addressed me to the whole team and told me to stay confident in myself. So he's always just kind of put that confidence in me. So
the next game, do you remember your first basket?
Yes, it was pretty much right off the bat. Tanner Sears, who was a senior point guard for us, got it off the tip, I think, and just threw it up to me, and I laid it in. So
very nice. Go back as a freshman and think about from then until now how your game has changed, whether it's more inside, more outside, more off the dribble. How's your game changed over the 4 years?
I'd say the thing that has developed the most about my game is probably my defense. We're really big about defense around here, and I know we score a lot of points, so sometimes the numbers don't really look like we're playing defense, but a lot of those points we're scoring is off steals and runouts, and I feel like that's something that he's really helped me be more committed on the defensive end. And normally he gives me the task of guarding the other team's best player, and I just look forward to that challenge every game to kind of refine my skills on the defensive end.
Who's the toughest player you've guarded up to this point this season?
The toughest player I've guarded up to this season was probably our last game, championship versus Gallatin. They have a junior who's about 6'5", tall, long, put on the floor, shoot it. He was a real tough matchup for us, but, I had a lot of help. Got a lot of good athletes on our team, had a lot of help off ball, kind of when he got by me, kind of picking up and forcing him to give up the ball. So I think having that in the back of my mind, knowing that if he does get by me, I'll be okay, really helps out when you're playing defense.
Who's the toughest kid that's guarded you?
Toughest kid that's guarded me? Oh, that's a tough one. There's a lot of good defenders out there. I'd probably say, I don't know.
No, that's okay. You probably don't need. You're probably putting something on somebody's bulletin board. So.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah. But Richmond has a lot of tough defenders, so they really like to crash down when I drive in. So I'd say as a team, they're really good defensively, and they got a lot of athletes over there. So,
yeah. As you look at, and I probably know the answer to this question, but when you get your schedule there at the beginning of the season, do you go through and mark games or you think about games, just make a mental note, hey, I can't wait to play this game or this tournament, or maybe in this gym I shoot the ball really well? Are there games you really look forward to?
Definitely. Like you said earlier, Richmond, those two games on the schedule are kind of the ones I've had in the back of my mind since last year. Our last game against them ended up being an overtime loss at our place, which is really tough to swallow. So ever since that, I've just had them marked down, and then always Husker Classic is a big one. We didn't win it last year, ended up winning it this year. So that's probably the biggest tournament that we wanted to pick up because it's at our own place, getting back to winning it. We haven't won it for, when was the last time we won it?
I think it was about 5 years ago.
Yeah, about 5 years ago. So it was nice to get that win over Odessa in the championship and bring that trophy back. So
you bet. It's 4 years goes by pretty quick, doesn't it?
Definitely.
If you could go back, if 2022 Mason Rumsey could go back to that freshman year and give yourself some advice, what would it be?
Oh man, there's a lot of advice I'd give myself if I could go back. I think one of them would be probably take more time and really develop your free throws, because free throws are huge, and that can be the difference maker in some games. And then another thing I would tell myself is to not have so much pressure on myself, because back then I really felt, being a freshman on varsity, I had to play to an even higher standard than some of the upperclassmen just to prove myself. And if I could go back, I'd probably tell myself to not be so hard on myself.
Very good. So you're a senior this year. What plans, if any, do you have for next season?
I actually last night ended up committing to Missouri Southern down in Joplin, and that's to play football. So,
okay, very nice. Just had yesterday had the baseball coach on from Missouri Southern State University. Coach Darnell was on with us. And so, what position are you playing football?
I play receiver and I play DB.
Okay. Very nice. Well, again, Mason, on behalf of Chevy Jersey Ozarks, congratulations, and maybe you'll cross that 2,000 point plateau this evening. And best of luck as you take on a good Richmond team. That's a home game, but they're 13-3 coming in, so maybe you can avenge that overtime loss the last time you faced them.
Definitely. Thank you for having us.
You bet. And Coach Stoner, what are you going to have to do as a team tonight to beat Richmond?
We're going to have to play well. First of all, they're good. We've got a good rivalry going. It's a big game. I've had a lot of people asking, what time is it? Is it still on? We got a winter storm coming in. Surely you're still having it. Retired coaches coming in. It's pretty exciting. Can't remember this big of a game in a regular season game in quite a while, where I know there's a lot of anticipation. So To play well, we're going to have to play defense. We're going to have to contest the shooters. We're going to have to do our best to keep the big kid off the glass. We're going to have to try to keep their athletes like the Elliott kid, in check. They're a load. There's no doubt, but we're also going to try to do the things that we do and be us.
Very good. Well, gentlemen, again, congratulations to Mason and Coach. Thank you so much for setting this up. I know it's a game day, and to take 15 or 20 minutes out is probably not the best thing, but I know the viewers and listeners have enjoyed it, and it's kind of nice for me to put faces with names. You see a lot of stuff that Mason's done online, and it's kind of nice to catch up and kind of almost share Coke with somebody. But I appreciate you guys being part of it.
Yeah. If I could say one more thing, he brought up that story. We actually haven't talked about that. 0 points, his first game ever in his career. I'm sure the whole crowd was thinking, what is he doing playing that freshman? And I do believe I did tell him, someday we're going to look back and laugh at it. And I don't think we've talked about it. So here's the day we're laughing at it now as he's broke that record. So that's actually pretty cool. Pretty cool moment that he brought that up. That's awesome.
Well, outstanding. Outstanding. Gentlemen, again, best of luck tonight. Stay safe up there as Snowmageddon here, I guess, approaches, Missouri and the Midwest. But good luck tonight, and I hope we can catch up with you again down the line.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet. Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Keep it right here.